we have found we've been using GoPros for a long time, and found that there's some really nice accessories that we're going to recommend. So I'm going to go ahead
or at least
and
suggest.
start here. I'll suggest, recommend. Get your thesaurus out. I think it's the same thing. First I'm going to have is the Gravgrip, to have a handle that you can actually extend. And what I liked about this, I used this when I was down in Panama because it's waterproof, and when underwater on the reefs, I actually had a different one on the Galapagos, but it locked up on me even though it was PVC. This is aluminum, but the salt water didn't seem to bother it. But see, I can put that in there and poke close. It has the, I don't know what you kind of call that, the little three-fingered mount that's
just call it a GoPro mount.
Yeah, the GoPro mount that's
basically
that's built into the GoPro now. And as you see, I think this gets about 3 feet. And if that's not enough, it's got a little hand grip and a carabiner down here. But you can unscrew this a 1/4-20, and you can put a monopod on it or put it on a tripod or anything that has a 1/4-20. I guess you could mount it to the what is our platypods.
Well, here's an interesting, this is an old selfie stick, but the thing that's interesting about it is that it has a GoPro mount.
Yep.
And is it waterproof? Don't know. Really don't care because this is very inexpensive. It didn't really cost much at all. You can probably still find these very inexpensively. What I did is I got this specifically because it had this mount and I could put a lot of different things. And I actually have used this in the field and it's pretty decent. No, I can't. It's not as cool as Jim's. His is a little bit, has more length to it. And he's
I'm sure
also,
there's a difference of price. This is $39, and I'm sure that was quite a bit less.
oh yeah, this would, you know, I probably paid between $9 and $12 for this, something like that. Not very expensive. So, you know, if you need to be on the cheap, and the thing is, I keep thinking it's going to break or rust or do something, and it's one of those where I can't get it to stop working. I can't
Looks like
get
it's
it to,
aluminum, probably more like corrode than rust.
and it's not even doing that.
Yep.
And to be honest, you know, it just keeps doing what it's doing. It's funny that sometimes because you go, all right, this is not that great. When it starts breaking
It's like Timex, it just
just keeps on going.
takes a lick and keeps
What are you
on
going to do?
ticking.
But you know, it's interesting because you've got items that support, and here's an oldie but a goodie if you could still find them.
Oh yeah, GoPro still sells those. I have
And
2 of them.
I've had this for a while. And
I
it's
always
pretty
get
cool.
nervous because you know, I'm out on the car and I'm driving along. And I always think, oh, is that thing going to hold? And then
Yeah,
so
the
far,
problem
I've
with
had
the
no
suction
problems.
cup is that you have to keep it clean.
A
You
little
have
moisture in the bottom
Yeah.
kind of helps too.
put it, you know, get a little moisture on it, and it sticks better. This one's always worked fairly well for me. The only problem too is after a while, the cup tends to get a little sticky.
Yep.
And then you're going to have to get what I do is just get a mild detergent.
Yep.
And then just on a cloth and just kind of wipe it down.
All the rubber
that's
and
it.
plastics tend to do that after a while.
But this one works pretty darn decent for what it is. But Jim has something better than that.
Yeah,
don't you?
and you're going to have to give us a moment to
Yeah.
set that up. All right, so now I want to put together, now the Gravgrip was originally a Kickstarter project, and I came up with this, which is just kind of like a little gravity-driven gimbal. There's no batteries or anything in this, but this will keep your camera, you can see that, it keeps your camera level.
But only on
Yeah, it's
One
not
axis.
it's not just a one axis, but it keeps it level so you can go up in the air and come down, or see, I'm going my hand, but the camera's staying. And they also have different strengths that you can buy separately for the I don't know what they call it, the gimbal mount in
basically
here.
your gimbal,
It's
yeah.
a pneumatic mount. It's basically like a fluid mount. But even this is waterproof, although I can't imagine why it would be any benefit to use this
underwater.
The
Did
grip,
you see it?
this-
You're trying to keep it stable, and the current comes in and starts.
yeah. It was
You might
not
get some
intended.
interesting effects.
This also is not going to have any effect on, you know, your walking and your, so this
Yeah.
movement here, or even like this, it's just strictly to keep the GoPro level with the horizon.
But you know what?
So
These
that's
aren't that
kinda
expensive, so
cool. Yeah,
you know.
this is $39, and this will mount on any supposed, it would actually mount
Yeah, it
on
would
yours
mount on
if
this a
that
little
was
bit.
strong enough to hold the weight. And but the handle itself is $39, and as we said, this extends out to about 36 inches. So
for about $80, you can.
yeah, well, they actually have a combo that you can get, and you'll save yourself a few dollars if you want both. $68.
Oh, that's not bad.
Okay, so
Cool.
okay, well, next up is and this is one of those things that says, now, why didn't I think of that? It's such a brilliant idea. It's a magnet mount for the GoPro,
Wow.
as you can see, and these are powerful magnets. With this particular, there's a number of them out there. This is I think it's just called the Snap. This was quite a bit cheaper. There's a more expensive unit, and they give you a couple spares. And if I get, ouch, if I get it apart. As I said, these are powerful. Well, anyway, there's two of these that they give you, one with another mount, and this here. This can, and I'm going to show you here, mount to a car, and this would probably...
This would put this to shame.
Yeah,
because
because
much stronger,
it's
much more reliable.
Unless you have an aluminum hood on your
If
car.
you have something
Some
that's
cars
not
do.
magnetic,
Yeah.
you may have to go
It has to be ferrous
to
metal.
this.
What
so.
I find this is going to come in really handy is I'm going to be going here to Greenland here soon, and on the ship we've got a balcony, and I can take this and put it outside in the balcony, and I can get some time lapse, and I get some nice footage at night. I can set it up. So yes, this is really just caution you, don't get your fingers in the way, because these magnets, as you can see,
Very
are
strong, yeah.
And they also comes with some straps, so you can hang them. One of the neat things you can do with this, let me see if I get this apart. I've got the two of these. Bear with me. Talk amongst yourselves here. Let me see if I can get this apart real quick here. I can use this maybe. Ah, there we go. Okay, so if I put this in here, in my shirt, look at here. Oops, I got it the wrong way. You can make it like a chest mount, and you can mount it, and that was actually one of the things that they recommend using it for, is you could put it on a coat or something, and your hands free with your GoPro as you're walking along. So that's something to consider. So yep, the snap mount, and that, let's see, the snap mount, the more expensive one, is $69.99. This Super Snap, the one I've got here, is $27.99. That's on Amazon. The nice thing about the snap mount, the $69 one, is that for these, if you fold it up like, fold it up against the back, you can still see. This one you can't, because the way it's just got the little triangle. The other one is more square and open, so you can see the back of the GoPro. Anyway, something
pretty cool, and the fact that they give you two mounts like that is
well,
pretty
actually
cool.
three. You got the mount for the GoPro. You got, and that one also has an additional
Right, the GoPro piece on it.
mount on it. So yeah.
But then this
And
one you would use, if you use it separate, what would you, oh, I see, the straps.
Yeah, you
Something
could
like that.
you strap it on, or you can actually screw it onto something if it's non-ferrous, or a tree or something. You want to put that on and snap it on.
Interesting.
Also on a tripod. You can mount them on your tripod, and now you've got a quick on and off that you can mount it to your tripod. And
Wow.
pull it out. All right.
Okay.
Okay, well, next up, which I found really handy, is the GoPro Media Mod. And this, by the way, this particular one will work on the 9 and the 10. They have a separate one for the GoPro 8. I don't think they have them for any of the previous models. The way this works is the door on the GoPro, hopefully, is removable, because I just removed it.
Yeah.
That removes, and then you pop this in like this. Now this, there, like that. And what this gives you is it's got its own little built-in microphone, which is supposed to be better than the mic that comes in the GoPro. I don't know if that's true, but you could also use external microphones. On the back here, it has little connectors that for USB-C, where you can charge or use a remote power supply, a microphone input, and up here, I think one HDMI. So, and then it has these hot shoes for your accessories as well, and your little GoPro finger mounts can come down. So that's the Media Mod, and there's also a bunch of accessories that you can get with this little lights. I think they got additional microphones.
Yeah, because that's a cold shoe on top, right?
Yes, that's correct. It's just a shoe, just a mount. And also they have one that's got a larger video screen that you can see, that you can want to use it or reverse it. If you're using this as a selfie, why would you want to do that? I also want to mention that since this has a USB-C, you can use a power supply, like if you're doing night lapse, time lapses. But in addition, if you don't want to spend that money, you can get this little USB-C door, and I like the one from GoPro. There's some third parties because it comes with a 4.5 foot USB-C A to C cable, and when it plugs in here, it seals, so any moisture, if it rains or anything, if you got your camera out for an extended, it's going to seal it from the elements to some. It's not waterproof, but it's going to seal it to some extent. And let's see, the I'm trying to get the prices here. The pass-through door, the little USB pass-through door, is $19.99. Now, if you're a GoPro, what do you call it? With you have the storage. It's not the pass-through door. That is right there. It's $15.99 if you remember.
And of course,
and that
Media Mod.
Yeah, the Media Mod is $79.99 or $55.99 for members. So, all right. I think also when I got these, I also bought this, was like I think $2. This is a little wrench, and the purpose of this is to make it a little easier to screw it on off. And in emergency, it's even got a bottle opener. Although I don't think many of our beer bottles, Coke bottles, come with. They're most like twist-off caps now, but
that's for beer.
That's yeah. And finally, should have mentioned this earlier, but a 1/4-20 tripod mount. These are really, really handy and highly recommended. And these, you can get these just for a few dollars for the most part. This particular one that I got, I was a little disappointed. This has come from Smatree, S-M-A-T-R-E-E. It comes with the mount. It was inexpensive, but it did not have any bolts. And when I thought it was just left out of the box, I wrote to them. They says, "Oh no, we don't include that." So you have to make sure you have some extra bolts if you buy this one, or make sure that you get a bolt with it. And I think they got one that's blue anodized as well as black. Okay. Well, of course, GoPros don't work very well without batteries, and what we have learned about batteries is that no matter how long they last, they never last long enough. Isn't that correct? So, especially if you're out and you're away where you can't plug in to charge your GoPro. So, why don't you go first? Because you got the.
This is the actual GoPro, but
the official.
It has to be plugged in. Right here, there is looks like a USB-C.
Yeah, so you could put that in your car.
You can charge it that way. It is handy.
Connector.
We can do 1 or 2 batteries at a time. One of the things I do when I'm storing it is I reverse them so they won't pop down in there, because I've noticed that if I let them pop all the way down into the charger, they discharge. The batteries can discharge a little bit. At least they don't seem to stay as fresh when I put them all the way in. Here's where correctly they'll be flush mounted then. And
yeah, they don't mount down flush in the same way they put it in the GoPro. You got them in backwards.
Right.
And spare batteries, that's another thing to consider. And with spare batteries, I think on the GoPro 9 and 10, I think on the 8 are around $19.
And you can buy, there's some different ones where you can get 2 batteries, 1 battery. So it really depends.
And there's
you want to look at the amp hours.
Yeah.
because there's a lot of third party out there now.
Just make sure you get one for your camera, because the 9 and 10 take different batteries than the 8.
Exactly.
Which is the same as the 7.
Exactly.
And what I found, this was a Kickstarter project. This is from a company called Xtrar. And what is neat about this is it's got a battery built into it. So when you plug this in, it charges the internal battery as well as the GoPro batteries. It'll take 2 batteries. It also has little storage things in here that you can store your little the mini SD cards.
Micro
so
SD.
you can put the little SD cards in there and have those stored as well.
And so this will charge without having to plug in the USB.
It'll charge 2 batteries up to 2.5 times without plugging it in. And when you plug it in, it charges the batteries that's in there as well as the... Now this comes, as it stands, it's for the 9 and a 10. However, they gave one little adapter. So if you have a Hero 7 or Hero 8, use a little adapter down there and it'll adapt them it will charge those batteries.
That was a question I had, so that was a great answer to let people know that there is an adapter if you have. And this one definitely is for this charger is for the 7 and the 8.
Yep.
So, but it makes it handy, and it's nice to have that, because yes, you can charge it inside the body, the camera body.
And do you remember what that one ran with the cost on that?
That's a good question.
I know the Xtrar is $46 from Amazon.
I think this was 40 or less. I don't think it was all that expensive.
Yeah, for some reason I was thinking it's $39.
I think it's
but
something
again,
like that.
if you remember, you're going to get a reduction.
Well, the nice thing about these, you don't just have to get them from GoPro. You can get these on other third-party sellers such as Amazon. Carry a lot of. I will say that Amazon carries all of it. Amazon will carry some. There are a few other vendors that are online that will carry. All you have to do is put in GoPro accessories or GoPro 8, GoPro 9 accessories, and you will actually see if they are carrying them. I don't think GoPro worries about that because they're still selling units, and so that's all good for them.
And they still got some accessories on there for the 7 and earlier models as well.
Right. If you look around, you can find the 7 and earlier. Those are getting a little bit harder to find. The 8, I'm already seeing getting a little bit harder to find. But dang it, my 8 works so nicely. I have a hard time saying, nope, I'm just going to get rid of that. Oh, no, I'm going to keep it. Maybe...
I still have a GoPro 5.
Yeah, you have a 5. You might even have a 4 still. You have a couple of them.
Yeah, there's a couple.
So
my 7, unfortunately, the 7 went.
Yeah, that died.
It died.
But it got replaced with an 8.
A 9.
Oh, 9. That's right. That's right. 9. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we had mentioned I was going to be doing some time lapses with the GoPro. One of the disadvantages of GoPro, this also would extend to drones or our smartphones. They don't have, let's say most of them don't have apertures. GoPro certainly does not. It's, I think, fixed around f2.8, and that means that it has to control the exposure using either the ISO or the shutter speed. And if the shutter speed on video gets too high, it gets really staccato. It gets bad. So one of the things that I'm going to recommend are ND filters. By putting the ND filters on the GoPro, and this comes a set. This is from Polar Pro, and they're sold through GoPro, and also they have a discount. Figure out how to open.
There's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah. There it goes. And I think these come with a ND4, 8, and 16, I think, or is it 8, 16, and 32? Let's see, what is this one here? ND8, 16, and 32. And those numbers mean the higher the number, the darker it is. And also, you can, if you get the little case, these won't work on the 8. These are only for the 9 and 10, and that's because the 9 and the 10, this front element actually twists off, can come off there like that, and then those just pop on. For the 8, you'd have to get one that would slip on, or otherwise would. We still recommend them, But yes, if you're going to be out in especially bright sunlight, I highly recommend considering getting the ND filters, and it will really improve the quality of your GoPro videos. I wanted that to snap as an emphasis, and now it won't snap close. Oh well. All right. For the last one, we go. This is a phone, or this is an app, and this particular there's a GoPro app.
Right.
One of the disadvantages.
I think it's called GoPro Quick.
Yeah, you're right. It's called the Quick. This one's called a bracketing for Hero. And there's other ones out there, but this one's available for Android. It's available for iOS. It's available for Mac computers and Windows. It's $4.99 for Windows. It's $5.99 for iOS, Android, and Mac OS. And the website, I'll put it down here, is toolsforgopro.com. And this supports the Hero cameras 5 through 10.
Oh,
so it goes all the way back to 5.
That's good.
And also supports the Max and the Fusion Hero or GoPro cameras. So it connects via Bluetooth, Bluetooth LE.
And then on the Max Fusion, basically it's all the same. Yeah, Android, iOS, Mac.
Oh, yes.
That's cool.
And what is really cool about this is the fact there's no HDR capability on Heroes. But with this particular app, you can. And let me turn this on. I'm going to show this through the... here we go. It comes up. You when it recognizes your camera, you can go ahead and click on that. Oops. You can basically just set up various ways you want it. Like I've got one set up for HDR. And the way this works is I'm using the exposure compensation, the EV, what they call it. And I have set up here for picture -2, -1, 0, 1 stop over, and 2 stops over. So this is going to take a 5 series of pictures right in a row. I guess we can go ahead and do that. You hold that up, and I'll push the button here.
That's 2.
So I just took a HDR bracket. Now you need to, of course, software. It's just going to take 5 separate pictures, and you're going to use whatever your favorite program is to adjust those.
So regular HDR.
Yep. But you can set
software.
those up. But that's not the only thing this does. This will control everything on your GoPro, and you can make a sequence out of it. Like if you want to take some stills and then go to video, or if you want to have different video settings, maybe you want to take some in 4K and then immediately take some in 2K or 1080. You can do all that with this particular app. It is really cool. But the main thing is this bracketing feature, which allows you to actually do HDRs with the GoPro camera. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Very
and you
interesting,
can
yeah.
do it with your laptop or your desktop, as well as Mac or iOS,
Right.
Android.
The nice thing about it, I think in the field, being able to use your smartphone is an asset.
Yeah.
But it's nice because if you're doing studio stuff, you definitely can use your laptop or your desktop.
And you can fire it remotely. Now, this one, you can't see the pictures that are taken afterwards, unlike the Quick, which you can get it. And
Right.
you can't run at the same time the Quick. You can only connect one or the other.
Well, that's because both of them are fighting for
Right. The
accessing the
same
camera.
access, yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, there you have it. And I'm sure you've got accessories out there that you really like, and you might have something that we overlooked that you found perfectly invaluable. So let us know and leave them in the comments. And if we find something that we want to share with you, well, we will continue to do so.